Okay, everything is looking good. Welcome everybody to a video which I've been meaning to do for a little while now, and it's how to live stream X Wing or Armada game. People have been asking me for a while, so instead of doing this as a pre-recorded video, I decided to play it ballsy and let's just see if I can show you how to live stream X Wing and Armada games live. This should be fun. This is not scripted in any way, so let's see how far I can go with this. Alrighty, first thing, now we use OBS to stream. That's a program we use to stream, and we stream it to restream. And I'll get into that bit in a moment, but first off, I just want to show you guys the program, the hardware we use. Here we go. This is the camera that we use to stream our games with. People have asked us what's a good camera. These ones here work well. They're just the Logitech ProStream webcams. $169 Aussie. They're pretty good value, really. Straight USB, sorry, into the computer, and they just work. They're just really good cameras. They've actually got a 4K camera now available. I think they're around about $200 or something. So I've been thinking about upgrading to them, but yeah, this one does good for now. For the audio, we use a media mic, Samsung media mic. This seems to work very well for us to condense a microphone. So it generally picks up like everything that's happening around the table, so you pick up both players' voices, unless they're whispering, then it's a little bit harder, but you can always hear mine and Mars's voice throughout the place, because we are very loud chaps. Alrighty, OBS. Okay, now before we do much in here, I'm going to show you some settings as to what we have as well. So theme dark, because what is it? Yeah, that looks horrible. And yeah, that's just way too bright. So yeah, dark theme. Going into the stream setting here. As I mentioned, we stream to a streaming service called Restream. And I won't actually include how you actually put this into OBS. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to do that. Let's get rid of this window, it's very distracting. Oh, hey JK Rob. Hey Ash. Best game he's ever seen. Choose one. Yeah, I've got the chat open for Restream. Restream's really good because it streams to 2 different channels. We can do Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and it also has like its own little chat dialogues box, which I'll bring over now. Here we go. So this here will tell us. Oh, there you go. We've got 1 person on Twitch watching, 5 people on YouTube watching at the moment. And when you replies to all of the app, or you can reply to either channel. We found Restream works really good because gives people options if they want to watch us on Twitch or YouTube. Output, these are the settings that I use. So if you want to do what I'm doing, you can just copy. Audio, you generally only need the 1 audio device. That's the microphone you're using. The webcam actually has a microphone as well, but this just sounds better. Video, currently no video outputs because I've got no cameras or anything plugged into it, but you can probably see here, we actually stream it out in 720. The reason for that is because it doesn't clog up your internet as much. When you're streaming in 1080, it can actually slow things down, and you've got this lovely little green box here. This thing is your god. You worship this. You want this to be green all the time. When these drop frame rates start, these is your drop frames. When this is no longer green, this starts increasing, and that's why you have that ching pausing moments when you watch some streams. Fun fact, as far as I know, Twitch still only lets you stream in 720, or you can broadcast it in 1080, but then they'll knock it down to 720 anyway, so there's no point broadcasting in 1080 if they're only going to knock it down. And in the end, most people are watching on monitors and watching on phones and iPads and stuff. Not many people really plug in TVs. I think Rob does. Don't you, Rob? You still there? Yeah. Take off. Oh, okay, yeah, Rob's gone. Advanced settings, this is just what I got here for advanced settings. I don't think I've got anything interesting in here. You can actually go on, there's a bunch of YouTube videos online which will go through how to do all this properly. I'm not going to, because I'll do a better job and I'll just probably stuff it up somehow. I just want to point out the 720, and just make sure you've only got 1 device. Make sure you've got this desktop audio default. Where are we? Disable that. Because you don't want to have things, if you've got a Facebook page open, you have all these boom coming through, if OBS might pick noise up that your desktop's making, and that just becomes an issue. So disable everything except for the microphone that you want to use. Okay, let's click apply. Oh, good. Alrighty. So, using OBS, we need to start off by creating a scene. Let's call this one, let's do X Wing first. And okay, so first thing we're going to do is add our video. So let's go add our video capture device. Let's call this, I've got a few cameras, I'm just going to call this Webcam 1. Okay, and the Logitech, there it is there, and that looks pretty horrible. Okay, let's go configure this. Make that a bit wider so you can see what I'm looking at. Alright, configure video, takes us into, pops up this thing here. This is all inbuilt in the camera setting. Autofocus, you do not want, make sure that's off. Advanced settings. Alright, these are the settings, they're still programmed to the camera. This is what I use. I turn the gain, because we're filming inside, I turn the gain right down and I bring the exposure up a little bit to get a bit of a clearer picture. Play around with these settings, don't leave them on auto because it will just, it's a nightmare. You need to generally drop it right down, bring this one right up, but you know, your camera, your output, your lighting in your area can determine everything. That's a little thing I've got to say about hardware. Make sure you're under a very good light, like cool white light source. Just helps to light up the table. Brightness, contrast, I've got them sitting here, I play with them all the time. This one here, white balance, you can leave that on auto if you want. Sometimes it's good. So where's OBS? There we go. There we go. We don't have all that white on there. What I like to do though, once auto tells you where it wants to be, I then go and flick it off. Might even dial it back a little bit. See how that looks. Yeah, that looks alright. I don't like to have auto settings on these cameras because if someone bops their head under, just save that, get rid of that. If someone bops their head over here, then the camera will want to either focus on the back of their head, the back of their hand might throw like the white off, like, you know, I'm pretty pale most days, so that could throw the white balance off sometimes. Camera wants to pick fun things up and become very annoying, so that's your camera. Resolution type. This one tricked me up a few times. Click on custom. This is just for this camera. And you don't want to put it at 1080 because don't make the camera work so hard. 720, that'll do the job. And there we go, there's the camera. That was probably one thing I didn't show in settings. Output, video. It's there anyway. Yeah, the canvas, yeah, as I said, put in 720. When you put that in 720 your canvas, it makes this window here 720. Okay, once you've got this, let's go studio mode. There we go. There we go. I think you can actually see what I'm doing better now, I think. Let's have a look. Yep, downscale, you get partnership. Yeah, if you get partnership with Twitch, you can do thing, but you know, partnership issues, fun. Okay, so I've got the webcam. Now I'm going to do overlays. Now I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can do overlays. So first off, I'm going to go here into Firefox. I got a funny feeling that whole thing with the camera didn't come up. Let's see. Come on. Firefox asking me stupid questions. There we go. Alright, well that thing loads up. I'll just quickly show you those settings because they might not have shown on the camera there. Yeah, so properties, so cameras. Yeah, so configure video. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, all your display settings there. So turn off the autofocus, gain right down, exposure up, white balance. Yeah, flick it to auto, then flick auto off, and play around with that to make it what it looks good. I hope this is working this time. I think I mocked it up before. It's fun doing things live. Okay, yep, so custom, resolution custom, then select 720 and then everything's okay. Alright, I think I'm back up to date. That's what's broadcasting, yes, cool. Alrighty, so working on our window here, this is where we're going to be doing the X Wing games. So webcam 1 is in, so we are going to add some overlays to this. So let's get rid of you, let's go to Firefox, here we go. This is a little website I've created, yeah, just for everything, for all the X Wing overlays and Armada overlays. In the links here, that'll link to this video, link to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and these here are the things you really want, the filters and where's the other thing? Oh, I haven't put it up there. Oh, great. Start with this first. X Wing filter. You'll need that. Let's go. What are you asking for? Okay, save that. And I got a funny feeling I put something in the recycle bin that I shouldn't have. This is what's great about doing things live. And makes for riveting viewing, doesn't it? Stars. Please tell me I didn't delete it. Oh no, I think it's still there. Still there. If I move this mouse cursor right. Using 2 screens at the moment, guys, so this takes a second. Nope, I got a funny feeling I deleted it. Oh no, there you are. Haha, found you. That. Put that into there. Save for later. I forgot I haven't actually put that onto the website yet. Okay, so we've got the back to Firefox. Where did that download to? Open file. Just haven't told me. I hate Firefox. Yeah, I did save in the wrong file. Yep. AEST template, save in there. Cool. Alright. Now I get back on track. Yeah, so we've got our overlays here. I'm just going to select the 3 versus 3 player. So yeah, in this template you can put in names, yeah, pilots, shields, hull upgrades, and all the fun stuff. We'll go through that a bit later, because I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. Scripts would help, wouldn't they? Okay, here we go. We're going to add a image to this for our overlay. Image. Call it background. Browse. Okay, desktop. AEST templates. And this one here. This is the starry background that we use for pretty much everything. And transform, make it fit to screen. There we go. Alrighty, now that's a little bit boring just sitting there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some fun things in the filters. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is add the Chrome key. Okay. Nope, sorry, not Chrome key. Oops, did it again. We're going to add mask blender, that's the one. Okay, that little file called black template, which I was just on, which I just saved before. This is the one you want. This is the X Wing template. This is what cuts a hole in basically your background picture. So you can actually see the board. We've got this lovely pretty picture in the background. Okay, then I need to add scroll because things sitting still look boring. Let's go minus 30 and plus 30. Yep, okay, and that is not working properly, so we flick it that way. There we go. So mask at the bottom, scroll at the top, and there we go. You've got those lovely stars moving. It looks like we're moving through space. Doesn't that look pretty? Okay, now you can just do the simple thing now, and then you can just add some text box here. I'll just call it text. I might go and delete it in a minute anyway. Guri with Guri Lone Wolf auto thrusters, and let's just say that's one of the ships. There we go. You can just, you get the idea. You can just add a text box with the list and pop them in there, and that's just a simple way. If you just want to just do something simple, record, you can just add text boxes everywhere. Let's go and add another one. Yeah, let's call it 2 because these are going to be going for us. Because that's what people call me in this place. So there we go. Dancing Monkey is flying Guri with Lone Wolf on either thrusters. Then you do the same thing on the other side here. Let's just make it easy. Copy. Copied the wrong one, didn't it? Paste duplicate over here. Now. Okay, and just for when you're on this side of the fence, oops, wrong one. Properties, that's what I'm looking for. Here we go. So with text, yep, you can select the font. There's a variety in there to choose from. You can install your own fonts on the computer as well. When you're putting names and stuff on that side of the board, you generally need to go text alignment. You don't want it left, you need it right. So there we go. Makes it look pretty now, so it sits on that side of the board. Yeah, but we'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of all this actually, because we're going to go remove. Oops. Naturally, I removed the wrong one. Yeah, this is what happens when you do these things live. Webcam 1, just in case people missed it before. There we go. All the settings will still be the same, so I don't have to... No, they are not actually. Configure video. Oh, no, not the one, this one. Custom. 720, there we go. There you go, fits the screen. Yeah, with the camera, before when you saw it like that, that was like the default. Don't just drag things and make them bigger on OBS, even though you can. You're better off to try and make the size fit, because if you let's just go back actually, properties, flick it back to default. Okay, that's default. If you just make it bigger, the screen actually gets a little bit fuzzier, doesn't look as pretty, so you're better off just doing it properly. Going into properties, custom 720, yep, all good, cool. Actually, what have I done? There we go, fit the screen. Yeah, I've done something wrong. I'll fix that later. Alrighty, so if you want to use our overlays, we've got on the website, which I have a link to below, which I'll show you a bit later on how to use. We go, let's get rid of this. Everything's still the same, isn't it? Yes, it is. Cool. Firefox, there you go. Alrighty. Let's F11 that. Oh, naturally. I gotta learn hotkeys for these computers sometimes. There we go. There we go. Full screen. That looks prettier. Okay, we need to bring all this information into OBS. So here we go. We want to select a window. X Wing overlay. So we don't want chat. We want 3x3. That one there. U key, and let's make this transform, fit the screen. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I forgot what I'm doing here. Yeah, this screen that I'm using is actually not a 720. Is not a 16 by 9, whatever that lovely magic ratio is for 1080 and 720. When you don't have a normal computer screen that actually fits correctly, like other screens do, when you want to try and put it on your 720 canvas, the image which you're using for like this website, or if you're using another type of window input, it's just not going to fit. So I'll have to transfer this over to my other screen. There we go. See, now it's on another screen that is designed to have and I'll transition so you can actually see what it is that I'm doing. Where is my mouse? There we go. Yeah, so now we're in the X-Wing scene. You can actually see now, like before you had those bars there, now it's on the correct side. I don't have those issues. Okay, so transition back to here so you can see what I'm doing with OBS. There we go. Alrighty, so same problem again. We've got that window there we want to look through. Filters. Add a filter. We are going to image mask blend. Browse. We want back template. And there we go. And as you can see in the window here, you now have that lovely little shoot through. So you've got all the information on both sides. You can see the table, and yeah, you just keep adding more to it. What people can do now, you can go and add logos if you want down the bottom. I like to add a little scroll thing down the bottom here. So let's go here. Text. Do the sponsor link, and then I've got this saved. Saved over here, copy. Okay, now we need to do some fun thing to this. Text right, let's go. Okay. Alright, that's right up here. Ooh, how's that gonna... There we go. Okay. Alright, now this is obviously way too big for the... I'll just fix this up so it looks prettier. There we go. This is obviously way too big for the OBS to read all of it. So we do a lovely little trick here. We shrink it down a bit. Drag it over. Shrink it down a bit more. Drag it over. Okay, once you've got this here sorted, the size, that's about the right width for the bottom bit here, which I've left this little gap for. This is just me. If you want to do your own mask blend image, and you don't have to have this at the bottom, you can do that. Just use my image and just make it a bit bigger. Filters, we are going to add scrolling to this. Scroll, let's see, which way is vertical? That way is vertical, isn't it? 10, we look over here. 10 doesn't look like it's going fast enough. So 30. That's a bit too fast. Oh, that's 300, not 30, that's why. Let's try 50. Yeah, let's try 48. Well, 480. 48. Yeah, I think that's fast enough. Yep. Okay. Close. Alrighty. Still too big for the screen. Everything's appearing, but you don't want this big bit of overlay here. So what we do, we can still shorten the box without shortening the whole thing. If you use any one of these little dots, it's going to keep the size ratio of the whole box. So what we do, this middle little bubble here, let's see if I make that bigger. This little middle bubble, we'll push Alt on the middle one and close it up. Okay, I keep forgetting to use these. Lock the webcam, lock the X Wing overlay. That way whenever you touch these things down, you can't pick them up and move them accidentally. I had to remember that at the start, might have saved me some time. Close that off again. There we go. Alright. So start it there. Hit the Alt button again, make it wider. There we go. Got a little scrolling link along the bottom there. Ooh, my headphones are sitting there. Alrighty, when you're happy with where that's sitting, like I said, these little lock things, these things are brilliant. I'm so glad when OBS put these in, lock it in, so again, when you start touching things, it doesn't do anything. Alrighty, so this little website here. I'm going to quickly show you guys how this works now. What I might do though, for now I'm going to take the overlay, filters, I'll turn that off for the minute, just so that way you guys can better see how this page works. Alrighty, let's go back to main page here. Alrighty, yeah, so I've created these little templates here for both X Wing and Armada. As you saw, there's your 3x3. So you just enter in the name. So it's too big. Oh, I haven't updated this. I actually realized I updated this, but I haven't uploaded it to GitHub yet. Let's just leave this in. Okay. G-U-R-I. Let's go Guri. She is PS5. Guri has 1, 4, 3, and 3. Upgrades. Borrowed Wolf, I think, is the long running joke here. You've probably already seen me edit these before. So yeah, just adding the upgrade. When you start getting like a lot of upgrades, these boxes here are adjustable. So you can move them up and down. Just keeps moving the next one down. When this round is done, you go back to main page, and then you can select, if it's a 3x3, you can stay on that page and edit it, or you can click it again. A feature I don't have on here is that you can't save previous lists. What it does do though, every time you click that back to main page, it opens up on a new page. So you can go back, and there we go, there's the list from before. So if someone leaves the table, they come back to the table later, if they're lucky enough they're playing a 3-player, then you can just edit the other one, put them on the same side of the table, or you can just do the whole, copy paste to the next one. So let's go back to main. For Armada pretty much works the same. Just instead of downloading that X Wing Chrome key, you download the Armada one. Just gives you the square page. So for, let's say 4 versus 3 ships in Armada. Same thing again. You enter your name, enter the ship. Upgrades again. These adjust whole values. Then down here you got these lovely little invisible boxes. You can't see them, where you can put in the name of the squadron. So X Wing, and just below it's got 3 hull. So there's actually enough to do 20 squadrons. Even though the max Z95s is 19, I've just put 20 just because, yeah, I did that. When you start getting down, so okay, so you get 3 rows, we can name them the same. Then down here, if you've got Z95s, just go 3 below it. It's the same ship up and down below. Just no one's going to do it. No one else is dumb enough like me to go and fly 19 Z95s. That's just crazy. Okay, so we'll just go back to here. I'll put Guri in. Okay, and now I'm going to go back down here into OBS, and I'll turn this back on. Filters. Put that back on. Let's go. Okay, close that. And if we transition that over, so there we go. Got the game ready to go. Enter in the list, and you're off and running. That's pretty much the real basic, all you need to do. Another little fun thing which we've started doing now is we actually now have clocks and timers. So you've got your webcam, your overlay, you've got sponsor. Yeah, this is on top. So we've got another little fun thing now. Or we put in a text document, or oh, that's the wrong one, isn't it? That's probably the right one. Find it in a minute. Let's go into Schnaz. Here we go. Alright, this is an app you can download. Schnaz, S-N-A-Z. It's got all sorts of clocks and all sorts of fun little things. Let's open up another window. 1 second, I'll drag that over for you. There we go. Yeah, so you can count up, down times and that sort of stuff. These are pretty much all I use. Just the chronos. 1 hour 15 minutes for a game of X Wing. You come over here, you push start, and stop it for a minute. That is the path. You need this little path document here, because this is what you need to put into OBS, so that way OBS knows you have a clock. Okay, to OBS. Pretty sure it's a text. Timer. And read from file. There we go. Browse and just copy that path straight into there. Open. Now let's just click OK. Now it won't actually come up. There it is there. If you want to edit an OBS, let's push start again. Up OBS. There's our clock timer right there. So you can put that wherever you want. That's not going to work there. You can put it down here at the top of the screen. Depends if you want to import other pictures for logos and such. I like to leave it down here on the bottom of the screen because it's sort of out of the way. Now just happily click down timing. Once you get that set where you like it, turn the lock key on so you can't accidentally move it. Let's get rid of this again. Yeah, so this is easy to edit. So same Armada 02. 2 hours 15 minutes for a game of Armada. Push stop and start. Let's do this. Actually, it's actually getting annoying. So, there we go. Okay. Yep. So when you push stop, the clock will disappear. When you push start again, there will be a delay before it comes up. So don't stress if you don't see it straight away. It can take as long as 5 seconds sometimes, depending on how fast your process is going. The reason why I like using this clock here is because it doesn't use a lot on your, it doesn't tax your processor a lot, and it's also part of the reason why I use the website the way I do with these here, something nice and simple. The more you tax your processor, the more this is not going to be green down here. Again, this thing here green, this is what you need. If this is not green, you've got trouble. Okay, so yeah, you got your X Wing scene up and going, but generally you don't just push start and show an X Wing screen. You want a bit of fun stuff in between. So we're going to add a scene called START, called start. So there we go, got ourselves another lovely blank canvas. We're going to add to image, which I deleted before. Yeah, be careful when you delete things. If you delete things in one, it'll delete it in all things. If it's the same name, so it's no, it doesn't always delete the same in all of them. So if you save background into another file before you delete it, you can freely delete it from here. If it's deleted from here, it won't appear again. Yada yada yada. Here we go. Star background. Transform. Fit to screen. There we go. And chuck those filters in again. We want scrolling because it just looks better when the stars move. Minus 30. 30. There you go, got a lovely star going there. When you choose like a star background, if you don't use the one I've got, just make sure it's like generic star patterns. Because if you go and make it for, let's see, where are we? Ah, here we go. I thought this would make a really good pattern. Except you start getting that line coming through, so which kind of looks ugly. So when you pick like a starry background, make sure you've got a starry background if you want to do scrolling. Something generic like this one, so it's just stars moving across the sky. Okay, so we're going to add a bit of text to this one. Let's lock that down so I don't move it again. So a little welcome message. So fly casual bat rip. Bat rips. And tonight is Thursday Night Raw. Spelled that correctly for once, I think. Alright, select font. Let's see. It's probably better. There it is. That's the one I want. This is the text that FFG use for all their cards, so I kind of like to keep the same theme going. You can download it online for free. So resizing that a bit. Don't really like how that's positioned. Let's get on this bottom here. Let's we don't want all on the left, we want this to appear in the center. There we go, and move it to where we want it. Again with text, I really should have changed the font size. It was 36, 48. There we go. It's actually easier to increase than shrink. It doesn't give you that, like, it gives you a little bit better image sometimes. So go Fly Casual Bat Reps Thursday Night Raw. That's tonight's broadcast. Alrighty, I like to add a couple of pictures. Oops, wrong button. I always like to add a couple of pictures to it if I can. Image. Image 1. Let's leave it at that. Browse. Okay, what am I going to use tonight? Ah, Star Viper, of course. Yep, got to use a Star Viper. The Guri extended art. Make that picture a bit bigger. Oh, there we go. Put that in the center. I like that there. Whoop. Again, wrong button. Little fun thing which I like to do. You may not want to do it. I like to add the table cam. The capture device. Add existing. We're going to add webcam 1. Very big. We don't need all that. So we just shrink it down. Yeah. I'll say the table cam. If you have a second camera, I was meant to bring a second camera with me to show how you can add a second camera to it. It's pretty much the same as adding web one, where you can have like a room shot, so you know people can see movement around the room and just kind of keeps people a little bit engaged. And we'll lock that in. Let's see, I'm going to add another text. Call it start. Oop. Name's already in use. Start. Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay. First game starts soon. Again, select font. Let's keep it all the same. There you go. Let's do you. Yep. So one good thing about OBS, you can move this window that you're using, edit things, and then drag things over to where you need them. Going to increase the font size to 40. I think I spelled that wrong. Unlock that. Cam 1, we'll unlock that a bit. Go to there. No, get a bit bigger. There we go. First game starting soon. We can make that a bit bigger, I think. There we go. Alrighty. I'll put that a little bit higher because then what I'll do as well, it's for a bit of fun. And go and add the timer. There we go. So what you can do, if you know your tournament's going to start at 7 o'clock and you click the stream like 10 minutes early due to international times, like I can say it's going to be, yeah, our first game starts at 7 o'clock, but you know, not everyone likes to Google the GMT time. So again, you just get your little get into Schnaz. Okay, first round's going to begin. I started the stream 10 minutes early, so we can just change that to 10 and 0. Stop. Disappear. Start. There we go. So just so people know what time, yeah, the games are starting. Once you've got your start one done, you can go and duplicate that one. The next one you're going to call is P-E-T-W-E-N. We don't have two W's in between. That's even if I've spelled in between correctly. In between, and we can edit this text. Again, this way you can have like multiple cameras up. Again, I just like to have an in between because you've got the timer in place. Change start soon. We will remove that because we're already going with going. So add two word text here. The first one we're going to add is Next. Save changes. I didn't realize I didn't save that. Save. Yeah, I'll check that later. Yeah, always click save before you exit. Banktown Gothic. Yeah, it's standard theory, that isn't it? Save things before you exit them. 40. Let's go. Okay. Next round will begin. In. Yeah, we need it in, don't we? There we go. Next round will begin in. And you got a little clock there. Okay. Yep, there we go. That's the first text done. The second one we'll do is lunch. Lunch. Oh, I just like doing a lunch one. You don't have to. You can just leave it as next round. Next round will begin and then do a lunch one. Don't have to do lunch, but I like to. Gives the people an idea of that. Oh, okay, yeah, they're going for lunch. They will be a while, even though you've got a clock up, or if you don't have a clock. Where am I? G, I. We always say short lunch break, but we know it can go a long time. Begin after a short lunch break. I don't know why I put a capital L there for lunch. Lunch break. There we go. Okay, I always like to drag this one away from that. There we go. I always like to drag that one down the bottom there. Down. Lock, 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 lock. Oh, haven't I locked? Ooh, background. Yeah, let's lock that. Don't want to click that by accident. Okay, so what you can do here now, the reason why I put in these two texts, you got next round and you got lunch. So next round after the other. Clocks. Let's just move the clock up a little bit. There we go, timer. So you put your timer in next round, when the next round's going to be. Usually that's just you type in the amount of time left remaining in a round plus 10 minutes. And then you're generally safe unless you've got a very unorganized TO. Otherwise, yeah, take a guess. Just don't put a timer on there. Just say next round will begin and just write soon and just leave it at that if you didn't want to have a timer here. Timer in. When you go on the lunch break, so you can flick that one off. Next round will begin after a short lunch break. Now, you never really know how long a lunch break is, so generally that's a good time to click the timer off. Oop, wrong button. There we go, timer off. Just leave it up like that. That way people know, okay, they're on a short lunch break. It could be 20 minutes or something, so people could just check back every 5 minutes. No one usually just sits there staring at the screen. Except for you, Rob, you seem to want to chat with us all the time. Nothing wrong with that, of course. And I'm just trying to think now. If there's anything left I'm forgetting to just talk about in here? No, I think that's probably about it. Oops, I've done that again. Yeah, so once you've got that set up, there you've got your X-Wing in between, start in between rounds. You can chuck in like a credits one there as well if you wanted to. Just for something where you can put like credits up there, thanks for watching, with some images, some special thanks too. You can put up like a results sheet as well. If you've got all the results, you can enter them in. That way you can just leave that playing for 5 minutes. So once your game's end, you can just flick to the end screen, and then they'll just have a like image of the results, and people just have the mic off and everything. Just gives people a chance at home watching if they want to see how the results were for the whole day. I'm kind of too lazy by the end of the tournament to actually put any of that up, but that's just a little help thing. So just add another scene. Oops, I hit caps lock. And we'll just add star background again. Actually, what other images do I have in here for a bit of fun? Image. Oh, here we go. Who doesn't love My Little Pony? Fit to your screen. Okay, and there we go. And then all you have to do, you can just put an image of the results up there. You can kind of delay it. So again, just take a picture with your phone and put it up there. Or if you've got a way of linking it from your computer with a pad or something, with no power on. Yeah, it's all sorts of things you can do. I'll let you do that. I don't really want to do that, but I might actually leave that there for a bit of fun. Yeah, who doesn't like Star Wars and My Little Pony? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'll just do this here now, so I don't have to do it later. This is the Armada scene. So for this one here, we want to add, and there's this fun little trick here. Window capture. I'm just going to go ahead and add. No, I can't use the same, can I? Armada overlay. There we go. And we don't need the chat. We need this one. Let's go OK. Filters. We need the mask blend. Okay. Browse. Oh, haven't downloaded it yet. Better download that. Firefox. Links. Armada filter. Browse. Oh, whoops, cancel. Open with save. Where are you saving this? I'm gonna learn how to use Firefox one day. Sorry guys, just 1 second. Let's put that into OBS templates. There it is. Cool, that's that done. Let's go home. Let's do a 4 versus 4. Here we go. And wrong screen. There we go. There you go. You have that lovely little chunk taken out there. You generally do it more square for Armada. You generally need it because Armada being on a bigger board, you might need to change the camera angles around quite a bit. You guys have probably seen me do that a few times, or had to move the camera. Try not to have a fixed camera of Armada because there's nothing worse if you set a camera up near one end of the table. There you go, move to the other one. Unless you get like some type of overhead camera. Just leave mine on the tripod. I don't stick it to the table or anything. I just move it when I need it. Yep. So we've got that one. Close. Fit to screen. I'm looking for a transform. Fit to screen. There we go. We need to add the webcam. Video capture device. Cam 1. So pretty much use the same webcam. The webcam is currently sitting over the top of the overlay, so to fix that, there we go. Sitting on top now. We will add the sponsor. So that's a text. Add existing sponsor. So we're going to do the same thing again. Where we, whoop. Yeah, this is fun. If you want to do the sponsors upside down, catch people's attention. Drive a few people's OCD mad. Scroll that across and Alt. Zoop. Shorten that down. Still too long. Shorten that down. There we go. Alright. Shrink that to there. There we go. That seems to fit. Don't know if it appears a bit jittery on the page there as well. It can look very jittery in the sample window. Often you'll have to just, you can do like a test sample with like YouTube, just broadcast like a thing in a private video so only you can see it. Then you can decide how it looks and what changes you need to make if they're just too hard to read. People often tell you as well, the amount of people who have sent me messages saying my spelling is absolutely atrocious. We are going to add in the clock as well, the timer. Let's go and put the timer down near the same area. Make it a bit bigger. There we go. Put timer here. The only other window you really need to add, oops, lock, before I make a fool of it. Let's go here, add another text. We call this one objectives. Objectives. and then you can add, let's see, file lanes, select font. I'm not too sure if Armada actually uses the same font, but I just like to keep the same font consistent all throughout. Let's change this to 40 as well. Okay, there we go. A little fun thing I like to do, this is just me, one thing which helps one thing that helps with this as well is if when you're second player, what I like to do, put the objective on the second player side, so you just move it from side to side. So this is when you generally don't lock down because you might need to move around. If you move this one over to here, you can go and move the timer, unlock the timer, and you've got someone on the phone now. You can probably hear their conversation now. There we go, fire lanes down there, timer over there, and yeah, good to go. And then you push, start streaming the Armada straight away. The good thing about the in-between as well, when you get the in-between up, you push the in-between over, and no one can see you editing the lists in and what's happening. All you can see is this lovely little page I've put up. One thing I do hate about this text, I do have trouble reading it sometimes with the spelling. Reads fine, but just, wait, did I spell that correctly? Everything always looks wrong. But, you know, it's what they use, so I'm just continuing with it. And there we go. You can use the same window if you want for Armada you do for X Wing. The trouble is when you start increasing these with upgrades, you start getting into that effect where it gets chopped off. So, yeah, it's why I've got the two separate windows for each. And I think that's probably about it, really. I'm going to leave links below for the GitHub address, so if you want to use my overlay, you're more than welcome to, or you can just take the easy way and just type it in. I'll get out of this, so I'll put it back to new. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this new thing, this is just literally just display capture, just so you can see what I'm doing, so that can just be deleted. That'll be deleted after this. So that's pretty much all as you need. If you want to have a bit of fun, you can put these into an order if you like. Armada in between, X Wing there, N down the bottom. Yep. Oh, that just makes me laugh every time I see it. I don't know why. I think there's another one I've got with I love having fun with images and there's one where Vader's sitting in his little meditation chamber watching My Little Pony episodes. That's really why he turned from the dark side. Yeah. Alright, yes, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, I hope I explained things well enough, how to use things. That website, you just click whichever one you want. Just leave it. You can do all this on one screen if you wanted to, instead of doing it on two screens like where I've done. I've got this little trick here. I'll show you how I do it now. Alrighty, let's go to here, display capture. Alrighty. Once you've got OBS, all this stuff set up, you generally don't need to edit this a lot, especially if you're using a website to do all your overlay work. So I'll grab this and move this over to here. And let's see now. OBS, we need restream. Here's our restream chat window. I will drag this over as well. And this game is so close. Funny guys. Let's see, always on top. I think this thing here is naturally set as always on top, but somewhere in the settings, this thing, whoops. So I'm trouble when you're on split screens. Filters, no, accounts, filters, appearance. Yeah, window always on top. Make sure you've got that activated, because there's nothing worse when you click on something else and you can't see the chat anymore, and then people talk and then you don't get a chance to answer them. So yeah, there's that one there. And what else do we need? We need the Schnaz. Ah, I closed off Schnaz. I did too. File, view, always on top. There we go. Okay, Firefox, open you back up. There we go. Okay, I'll F11 that. I might push another button. There we go. Don't need that. Okay. Let's rearrange a few things here. There we go. Okay, Kronos, there we go. Let's change that to 1:15. So that's how long the game goes for. Alrighty, this is generally how I leave everything set up, so that way I can move these out the way a bit. Let's scroll down a little bit. There we go. Alright, so 4 versus 3. There we go. Why did you disappear? Yeah, that's why the image for this is going to be technical difficulties. Yeah, don't do that with bloody Firefox. It keeps coming up and it shows up in OBS, so try not to run your mouse all at the top like I do. Let's push start view. Always on top. That's why it's not clicked. There we go. Now they're all fighting for top position. Okay, I'll jam my chrono up here. I usually jam OBS being a problem. OBS like so. It doesn't want to be a problem, which it always is. And then I usually get my chat window here. And set it like that. So there we go. That's roughly what when I'm just using one screen, that's what my one screen looks like. So I can flick between, I can add the lists in, what I need to add. It's just a matter of moving these little things, scrolling these down out the way. I can go back to my main page, select the next one, whatever it's going to be. Yeah, let's see. Okay, let's see someone doing 8 versus 8. Yeah, that's fun. If someone ever does an 8 versus 8, obviously this is not all going to fit on the one page. So you just have to move over, just go into here and resize it. Right, yeah. Yeah, just zoom it out a little bit so you can fit them all in. Yeah, you're not going to get that. That's not going to happen a lot. I think it seems to be 3 and 4, 2, 3, 4 ships seems to be what people fly in the tournament. I don't know, not unless you're unlucky enough to film one of Dallas Parker's games where he's always flying swarms. And back to main, yep. So flick those again. Previous games are always there. Every time you click this back to main, it will open a new window. So you don't have to worry about saving lists. Eventually when I learn JavaScript, I'll have a button somewhere, like a hidden button, where you can transfer this list into whatever the next one is playing against. I've only been doing HTML for about 3 weeks now, so please, anyone of you coders out there who wants to fork this off and do your own thing, yeah, please be kind. I literally have only spent 3 weeks working on how to do this. So yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. This is getting to be about an hour long. We're 58 minutes, so I think it's time to call it quits. So if you guys have any questions about streaming, or if you think there's something I went through too fast or anything, just leave a question and do my best to answer your questions. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If Mars was here, he'd say other stuff, but he ain't here, so I'm just gonna